Okay, does anyone know what this is? This thing? Anyone? Well, for those of you who don't know and are too lazy to read the title of the video, that is the Mothman. And what's the point of this video, you might ask? Well, am I going to be explaining the origins of the Mothman? No. If you don't know the legend of the Mothman, I'm providing a link in the description for you. That'll tell you everything you need to know about him. But this video, I am going to be explaining the Mothman. And what I mean by that is, I'm not going to go in depth about his origin story, because everyone, even if you don't know his origin story, it's so easy to find. I mean, there was just multiple sightings of him in the 60s, and he was last seen in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where he first was, you know, right before the collapse of the Silver Bridge, which people thought he might have been either an omen, the Silver Bridge, or people might think that he might have been the cause of the collapse of the Silver Bridge. But there's also another version of the Mothman. This isn't really true to the legend. It's called the Mothman Prophecies. It was written by John Keel in 1975, which was made into a movie by Sony Pictures in 2001. It has nothing to do really with the actual Mothman sightings, but that's alright. You see, back then there really wasn't that much information, and John Keel kind of wanted to make something up, really. And he wanted to make an interesting story out of it, because the Mothman is something that could definitely be interesting. And that's why the story, the Mothman Prophecies, I actually haven't read the book. I'm going to read it soon. But the movie, comparing the movie Mothman to the actual Mothman, which is considered a cryptid. People might not know that. Cryptid, like Sasquatch, Loch Ness Monster, those kind of things that people really don't know if they exist. Anyway, the thing about the Mothman is most horror movies say, based on a true story, and actually have nothing to do with a true story. This, you could definitely say that, because even though there was a Mothman, he wasn't too much like the actual Mothman. That's okay, though, because, I mean, let's say, like, what was it, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based off a story of him seeing chainsaws in line or something. And this story, on the other hand, people really don't know. I mean, there actually might be a Mothman. I personally don't believe in him, but there actually could be a Mothman. This is closer to being true than any other horror movie really has ever done. It's just that these two Mothmen have nothing in common. Well, I shouldn't say that. They have a few things in common. But I know I'm going on about ranting, and really, you're probably coming to this video to understand the Mothman, because really, he's really hard to understand. So I'm going to explain both versions of him, starting with the actual version that people have seen. Alright, this is a picture of the Mothman statue outside Point Pleasant, West Virginia. As I was saying, that was the first place the Mothman was spotted. He was spotted several times there. And I know I'm going to have to explain his origin a little bit. But with the couple that first saw him, they said they saw this grayish figure. It was about 7 feet tall, maybe. It looked like a man, kind of like a bird. And it had reflector-like eyes that were red. And anyway, the Mothman, his effect is, well, let me just tell you about this effect. Anyone who has ever seen the Mothman was automatically traumatized for the rest of their lives. I mean, it just, when you see him, you're overcome with a sense of evil that just overwhelms you and rushes through you. It's like seeing a demon. Just the pure essence of evil. I mean, the Goat Man and the Lizard Man, they attack you. The Lizard Man attacks you in your sleep, and the Goat Man, it just comes up and attacks you. You know, and rips you to shreds. The Chupacabra sucks your blood. Not shucks, sucks. Anyway, let me just tell you. The Mothman will do more damage to you just by staring at you than the Goat Man, Lizard Man, and Chupacabra combined, even if they kill you. Because, yeah, you'll be dead. But the Mothman will make you wish you were dead. Let me tell you. I mean, I honestly don't know, but mostly people that wish they were dead, well, of course, would rather be dead than feel like the way they feel. That's my little take on that, but he's also, when he appeared, every time he's been spotted, he's always been spotted before a disaster happens. And that's why people might think he's an omen sign. An omen of a great evil. An omen. But let me just read you a few things that happen to people after they see the Mothman. Well, besides being traumatized, a lot of them ended up getting a divorce, and they ended up committing suicide or just dying of some mysterious cause a few months later. Well, I don't know. I guess the Mothman, he doesn't seem like he's tries to be evil, but he is. Anyway, he also, people might think that either he's a government experiment gone wrong that escaped, like an accident, or they say that he might just, well, he might be an alien. Either one of those are fine. I don't know, really. He's paranormal. He might be a ghost. We don't know. Well, cryptozoologists don't have any interest in him because there's only one of them instead of having a whole race, which they're trying to find. Well, there's not really much to this Mothman. I mean, pretty much explained all that I could. But the next Mothman has a little bit more to him, and I'm about to explain him right now. Okay, the Mothman from the Mothman Prophecies. This one was much different, but it kind of explained what people wouldn't understand. For one thing, people have said the Mothman looks like different things. And there's a part in the movie, spoiler alert, John Klein, the main character, asks the Ingrid Cold, who is actually the Mothman, what do you look like? And he says it depends on who looks at him, which kind of interprets as, whatever your greatest fear, that's what I'll be. The Mothman in this is definitely a paranormal being. He can basically take control of you. And he just lures John Klein on his way to Richmond, makes him go all the way to Point Pleasant. And, well, of course that's creepy, but another thing is that this Mothman, this one is harder to explain. Well, I don't know. This one's a little bit easier. I can't decide because the other one's purpose was a little bit harder to see. Anyway, this one would claim that he would go to people and tell them that these people would die, and they wouldn't take him seriously. The next day, they would find out that he killed people, like Denver 99, everyone will die. Next day on the news, all 99 passengers on the flight to Denver died. And this one is kind of like a perfect comic book supervillain. He's evil. That's what he is. Just pure evil. And he killed the main character's wife, basically to lure the main character into dying. And the other thing is that this one, he tries to kill anyone that tries to investigate him. And that's another thing I forgot about the real Mothman. There was a man spotted trying to stop someone from investigating the Mothman by trying to kill them. That was definitely true. Or taken, whatever. And this Mothman, he can tap your phone lines. He can just do anything, and people see him on their front lawn. That was another thing that was actually in the legend. This Mothman, he caused the Silver Bridge, and this Mothman also manipulated people. He was going to give them what they wanted the most to make them happy. And then when they thought he was their friend, he thought that, they just thought that they could trust him. They thought everything was fine. But in reality, it wasn't. And as soon as he's done with you, he kills you. Just like any other villain. And the Mothman has also been spotted all over the world, but Point Pleasant was where it was first spotted. The two Mothmen are a lot different, but they do have a lot in common, and that's my point. My interpretation of the Mothman with the legend that I wrote about him, it's kind of a cross between the two. I enjoyed both legends. The Mothman has always scared me. He's one of my favorite cryptids, but he scares me. Like I said, I don't believe in him, but you know. Well, that's pretty much my explanation video. If I forgot anything, I'll put it in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Oh, holy crap, what is that? Oh my god, I'm scared, oh my god, mommy!